This is hands down one of the top communities in the entire region. We are so excited to dive in. Let's show you what we're talking about. So what community am I talking about? Well, we're here at the Meadows of Peterloon here in the village of Indian Hill. And if you've never been through this community, it's really a delight to drive through. It's incredible because it's brand new. It's only 3 or 4 years old. In fact, it started just after COVID in 2020, where they started building homes. And what's really interesting is this is probably the most sought after community that we've had in years, maybe a decade, because we get so many calls even to this day of people wanting to live in this community. And why, you might ask? What's so special about this? Well, it's rare in the village of Indian Hill to actually have a community that has 1, 3, and 5 acre lots and is a brand new development. That's really what's unique about this property. So as you drive through here, you're gonna notice big open spaces, hence the meadows, and you're gonna have big lots, 1 acre, 3 acre, 5 acre lots, and they all have different views, different looks. They all have different attributes that make them special. What we haven't talked about yet is the location. So we are right here on the edge of the village of Indian Hill in the city of Montgomery. Well, what's so special about that? Well, you get the big open lots and really what Indian Hill is all about, but you also get to be walking distance to the city of Montgomery. So how often do you get to have a rural property where you can actually have walkability to the downtown Montgomery? So you can have the best of both worlds. You can have a 1 acre lot sitting right here on Old Orchard Lane, but be able to hop on a bike and in 1 or 2 minutes be right over to Walker Brothers Ice Cream, or maybe grab a donut at Blossom. As you can tell, it's all food related stuff that we like to do over here, but all kinds of great stuff here in the village of Indian Hill, mixed with the vibrance and the entertainment that comes with the city of Montgomery. And we haven't even talked about how close we are to the interstates. You're just a few moments from I-275, Cross County Highway, Interstate 71. You have everything you could possibly imagine in this northern spot in Indian Hill. And really, when you looked at it back in the day, this was northern Indian Hill, right? We're over near Hopewell Road on Montgomery, but there's the village that's maybe a little bit deeper Indian Hill, and it's tougher to get into, right? It can take me 5, 10, 20 minutes to get in there depending on where you live. But that's the convenience that Peterloon Meadows, or the Meadows of Peterloon, really has to offer, and why people love this community and it's so sought after. So we've talked about location and why the Meadows of Peterloon is so special, but let's talk about the history. As you notice, the name Peterloon's here. If you know Peterloon, you know that just up the road on Hopewell Road is actually the Peterloon Mansion, which the Peterloon Foundation runs. You can have events there. It's a really historic location. In fact, if you want to watch our Indian Hill video that we just did maybe a year or so ago, you can dive into the history of John Emery and the Peterloon Foundation. But this development was actually developed by his descendants. So there was a couple of the Emery family that actually owned the property still, and they decided a number of years ago to develop the property. Hence all the new homes, 42 in fact, and we're just finishing up the build of a few of these in here, so the community's almost 100% finished. In fact, every lot in here is sold and built on, with the exception of resale homes that are just now coming up. And as you look at homes like this one behind me that's finishing up, you'll see the top names in new construction and building here in Cincinnati. In a moment, we'll talk about Bernie Croman of Classic Living Homes. You have Hensley Homes, Lucky Homes. You have the top builders here in the city of Cincinnati, in the region really, building these custom homes that are really truly special. So you've learned all about the Meadows of Peterloon, the Indian Hill area, and just exactly where we are. But let's talk about the house behind me. This home was actually built by Bernie Croman of Classic Living Homes. If you know Classic Living Homes, they're one of the top builders in the entire Cincinnati area. In fact, they've built about 10 or 12 homes here in the Meadows of Peterloon, making them one of the top builders in the community. And people come to Bernie and Classic Living Homes because they want a really well-built, quality home and a great process to come along with it. And that's what these folks, these sellers, actually got to live firsthand, and they love this house. It's bittersweet that they have to move, but they are selling it, so we're bringing it to the market, and we're truly excited because it's a first floor master, actually has 2 master bedrooms on the first floor. When you walk in the home, you're actually gonna be surprised to see an enormous foyerway looking straight through the home at the backyard. It's absolutely gorgeous with big, tall glass ceilings, and the great room actually has 14, 15-foot ceilings. As you can see, we do videos rain or shine. We got some drops coming on us, but it does not stop us because we had some beautiful weather. Sometimes the best weather actually comes right after a storm like this. But again, we wanted to say thank you for taking the time to tour the Meadows of Peterland with us. This is a truly special community. If you haven't driven through here, we highly encourage you to do it. If you're not local, maybe just watch our video, do a little Google Earth, have some fun that way. It's not every day that we have a listing like this come up and on the market. Excited to bring the community to you. But as always, feel free to reach out for a showing. You can always like and subscribe below, which we heavily encourage you to, so we can offer more videos like this, or reach out directly. Just give us a call. We're always excited to share information about the best of the best communities here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Thanks again. Hope to see you next time around.